Alright, this is the beginning of the Unit 7 and 8 review. We're going to start off with Unit 7, which is polynomials. And first we're going to classify the following polynomials by degree and by number of terms. And remember, a term is a number, a variable, or the product of. Alright, so 3 is a term, x is a term, 3x squared is a term. Alright, and terms are usually separated by plus and minus. So this expression has 3 terms. Alright, the degree is going to be your highest exponent in the expression, the term with the highest exponent. So if I have 3x squared plus 2y cubed minus 4xy cubed plus 10. Alright, what you do is look at the degree of each term. And the degree of each term is going to be the exponents added up. So this one, the degree is 2. This one, the degree is 3. And this one, the degree is 4. Alright, this is degrees 1. Alright, so the degree for this expression would be your highest degree, which is 4. Okay? Alright, so looking at number 1, it says, what's the degree? Well, it's going to be 1. And the number of terms, we got 1 here and then another, so we have 2 terms. And you notice they're separated by a plus sign. Alright, on number 2, this expression is separated by these plus and minuses. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. And the highest degree, this one's 4, this one's 3, 2, 1, 1. So the highest is 4. So the degree for that expression would be 4. Alright, it says find the sum and difference, and the answers must be in standard form. And standard form just goes from degree highest to lowest. Okay? And then it's also ABC order, alphabetical order. Alright, so what we're going to do is combine like terms. So, x squares, I've got 1x squared plus 3x squared, so I got 4x squared. Then I have negative 4x plus negative 3x, so that's minus 7x. And then 3 plus negative 5 is negative 2. And number 4, this one has a minus sign, so you're going to subtract each term. So 8r squared minus 3r squared is 5r squared. Negative 12r minus 5r is negative 17r. Negative 12 minus r. So that's the same thing as negative 12 plus negative 5. Okay? And then 4 minus negative 1 minus a negative turns into a plus, right? So this is going to be plus 5. Okay. And then it says simplify the following polynomials. So what it looks like here we're doing is distributing. So distribute, then combine like terms. So x times 2x, remember when you're multiplying bases, you add the exponents. So 2x squared minus 5x. We distribute to each term. This would be 2 times 1 is 2, y squared times y to the 5th. Add your exponents, y7. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Y squared times y to the 1. Add your exponents, y cubed. Okay, they're different exponents, so I can't combine them. So that's my simplified answer. All right, I'm going to distribute to each term, and then I'll subtract that. So negative 4y cubed. Remember, invisible 1, add your exponents. And then 5y squared minus 6y squared. And that's going to equal, we're going to combine our like terms, which are the y squares, and we'll get negative y squared. All right, the next we have to distribute, and then we'll combine like terms. So negative 2 times 4v squared is negative 8v squared, and then minus 10v or u, whatever those are. And then u times u squared is u cubed, and then u times 6u is 6u squared. We're going to combine our like terms. Negative 8 plus 6 is negative 2. And then we have u cubed. That's a higher degree, so I won't put it in front. And then minus 10u. Okay. All right. Again, I'm going to distribute these, and then I'll combine like terms. So 4n times 3n squared is 12n cubed. Add your exponents. 4n times n is 4n squared. 4n times negative 4 is negative 16n. Negative n times 3 is negative 3n. Negative n times negative n is positive n squared. Okay, my highest degree is 12n cubed. So I've done that. Now I'm going to combine my squares. So 4 plus 1, so I got 5n squared. And then negative 16 and negative 3 is negative 19n. All right, number 10. Again, distribute. Take the sign in front of that. You're distributing negative 3. All right, 3m times 3m is 9m squared. 3m times 6 is 18m. And then negative 3 times m squared is negative 3m squared. Negative 3 times 4m is negative 12m. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Combine your like terms. It'll be 6m squared. 18 minus 12 is 6m and minus 3. Okay. All right. The next problem is the shaded the shaded rectangle. All right, write an expression in simplest form to represent the area of the shaded region. So we're going to take the area of the big rectangle minus the area of the small rectangle. Okay, so the area of the big one is 4x, length times width, 3x plus 2, okay, minus the area of the small one, 2x times 3x. All right, so that's going to be 12x squared plus 8x minus 6x squared. So the shaded area is going to be 6x squared plus 8x. Okay. All right, let's go to the next. All right. Here we're multiplying binomials, 12, 13, and 14, and you're going to be distributing you distribute first times first, first times last, inside times in, and then you'll multiply your last terms. And they call it FOIL, first, outside, inside, last. And y'all, it's called that, but it's exactly what you do when you distribute. I'm going to distribute this first, then I'll distribute this one. That's the outside terms. Then I'll distribute the 2 and the x. That's the inside terms. Then I'll distribute 2 and 7. That's the last terms. Okay? So this is just some little name they come up with to help you remember. But if you just distribute, you're doing the same thing. So x times x is x squared. X times 7 is 7x. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 7 is 14. Combine your like terms. So x squared plus 9x plus 14. And that's your quadratic. Alright, anytime you multiply two binomials like that, most of the time you're going to come up with a quadratic. And remember, a quadratic is any equation or expression that the degree is 2. Okay, it's got an x squared in it. Alright, linear has a degree of 1. Cubic has a degree of 3. Okay. Alright, so we're going to distribute 2x times x, 2x squared, 2x times 1, 2x, and it'll be 3x, and then 3. So combine your like terms. It's going to be your middle terms. Your middle terms are always this, the insides and the outsides. So 2x squared plus 5x plus 3. And this one, 14a squared, and minus, this one's a little different, 4ab, and then the inside is minus 4, oops, that's 28, minus 28ab, and then 4b times negative 2b. So that'll be positive 8b squared. Combine your middle two terms. So 14a squared minus 32, making sure I did 32ab plus 8b squared. Okay. All right, on the next line, it's two binomials that are the same. That's why they have square, because this square means you're multiplying your base twice. So x plus 4 times x plus 4. Okay? And basically what you're going to have is x squared, and then on the other end you've got your square of 4, which is 16, and in the middle is going to be double your number there, 8x. But you don't have to remember that. You can just distribute, okay? 4m plus 1 times 4m plus 1. That gives me 16m squared plus 4m plus 4m plus 1. So 16m squared plus 8m plus 1. And this one's going to be 4w squared minus 2w plus 2w minus 1. So this cancels out. So 4w squared minus 1. That is a difference of square, right? These are perfect square. Perfect square's got a minus difference of. And this is kind of backwards from when we go from here to here. Now it's going from here to here. You got one plus and one minus. We'll do some of those in a minute. Alright, this one is a binomial. It's got 2 terms. 3 terms means it's a trinomial. Again, all you're doing is distributing 4x times each term and then negative 1 times each term. So this is going to be 4x cubed, don't forget invisible 1, minus 28x squared plus 4x, then negative x squared plus 7x minus 1. So combine your like terms. 4x cubed minus 29x squared plus 11x minus 1. Alright, here we want to factor out our greatest common factor. 6 won't go into 20. 4 will go into both of them. So 4 is the greatest common factor. And then they both have x's, and my smallest exponent's 1. So that's a common factor. So when I take out my common factor, I divide 12x squared by 4x, and I get 3x. And then negative 20x divided by 4x is negative 5. Okay, so we have that. Now, these will cancel out. So your answer is 3x minus 5. I'll lose my voice today. Alright, this one, let's see what we got in common. 14 and 49. Well, we know we got 7 in common. Okay, so 7. And then we have, for my x's, my smallest exponent's a 5. And for my y's, it's a 3. So x5, y to the third. So that's going to give me 14x6y3 divided by 7x5y3 is 2x, the y's cancel out, minus, that'll be x's cancel out, y cubed divided by negative 7x4y. Alright, so the 7's, that'll go in there negative. Negative 1 time. And then the x's, 5 minus 4 is 1. And then the y's, you have 2 left over. And then you still have this binomial here. So your answer becomes that. It's just the numerator now. Alright. It says factor each polynomial. Check your answer by distributing. Alright, so we're looking at greatest common factor first, and then if it's still a quadratic, we'll factor it into 2 binomials. Alright, so 7's a common factor, so it'd be x plus 7. So that's your answer. And this 5x is your common factor. So this would be 2x plus 5x will go into 5x 1 time. And then, got a little bigger. 16 is your common factor because 16 times 2 is 32. Alright, so 16's common. Your x's, take your smallest exponent, and it has to have an x in all three of them to be a common factor. So x squared is common. Y, this one doesn't have a y, so y is not common. It's not in all three. So we're going to divide each term by 16x squared, and I'm going to get 1x to the fourth, and then y to the fourth, and then 2x y squared. Okay, and that's about as far as we can go on that one. Okay, this is difference of squares. Anytime I see something square being and it's only two terms, it's a binomial. If this is a perfect square, then that's a perfect square. Then I know it's a difference of squares. So one's going to be plus, one's going to be minus. Square root of this is x. Square root of this is 6. So that's your factored answer. All right. Perfect square, perfect square. So it's a difference, and it's subtracting. It has to be subtracting, y'all. So square root of 16m squared is 4m. And square root of p squared is p. Okay. And not perfect squares, right? So let's look for a common factor with 8 and 18. 4 will go into 8, but it won't go into 18. 6 will go into 18, but it won't go into 8. So it looks like 2. So it would be 4a squared minus 9b squared. Well, now look, now you got perfect squares. So we're going to keep our 2, and we're going to break this down to 1 plus and 1 minus. So the square root of this is 2a, and the square root of 9b squared is 3b. Okay. Remember, you always look first to see if there's a greatest common factor. Always, always, always on all problems. All right. Let me see. Okay, this video's getting long, so I'm going to stop it and do a part 2. Probably this one will be 3 parts as well. All right, stay tuned for part 2.